Good morning, brothers and sisters. Today it is Wednesday, and we are on day number 34 of our 100 Days of Prayer. And we are blessed this morning, are we not? There was a thunderstorm that passed through, but now we have sunshine and a clear sky, or at least the clouds are clearing. As you can tell, I always love to address you from nature. There is just something so serene and tranquil about coming out into our Father's nature and seeing the wondrous works of his hand, is there not? Well, today's worship comes from, That I May Know Him, page 270. I'd like to share that thought with you. And it reads, "An earnest prayer offered from a contrite heart by one who desires to do the Master's will is of more value in God's sight than is eloquence of speech. The human agent may have no voice in legislative councils. He may not be permitted to deliberate in senates or vote in parliaments, yet he has access to God. The King of Kings bends low to listen to the prayer coming from a humble, contrite heart. God hears every prayer that is offered with the innocence of faith. The weakest child of God may exert an influence in harmony with the counsels of heaven." And again, that comes from That I May Know Him, page 270. And I think it is such a beautiful thought. We always want to, and we might think about those that pray long, eloquent speeches, but the Bible tells us, as well as this reading from Ellen White, that it is God's desire to have us open our hearts to him, to humbly come before him and ask our petitions and grant him the praises that he deserves. It is through that he absolutely hears us. And there is another prayer that I'd like to share with you that is a prayer of humility. I'm not sure that you've thought of it that way, but it is absolutely a prayer of humility. And you'll know it as the Lord's Prayer, and it can be found in the heart of the Sermon on the Mount in Matthew chapter 6. And it reads, "Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And do not lead us into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For yours is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen." And when we read that, do you get the sense of the humility? You come before God and you acknowledge who he is. "Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be your name." And then it lists off a few things, each of them giving God his due place, coming to him because we know that he is the giver of everything good. And it just is that prayer of humility. And when we do that, when we open our hearts to God, eloquence of speech means nothing. The long, drawn-out prayer, according to Jesus in the Sermon on the Mount, they have gotten their rewards. God desires our sincerity, our humility when we come before him. Let us simply acknowledge who he is and what he has done for us and what he's willing to do for us. Today, brothers and sisters, I pray that you are well. I pray that the Lord continues to guide you and keep you until we meet again.